What up, fight fans? Mainman Mademan here. Y'all know how I get down. We talking boxing, man. What up to the fam? And what up to everyone in Mainman Mademan's boxing form, man. Salute, salute. Much love, much love. Hey, look, man. So the thing is this. Word on the curb, fight fans. According to the latest reports, it turns out unified champion, 160-pound champion, Janibek Alimkhanuly has now popped positive for performance-enhancing drugs, fight fans. Now, ain't that funny? According to the latest reports, Janibek has popped dirty for meldonium. Now, we know meldonium. Numerous fighters at this point has popped for meldonium. The one that always sticks out like a sore thumb for me is back in the day when Alexander Povetkin popped for traces of meldonium. I think that was like the first time I ever heard about it. And, you know, and his fans were adamant at that time, like, oh, it was just traces or something may be wrong with the test or blah, 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 only for us to see Alexander Povetkin pop again and get banned from the sport for tests that got thrown under the rug for Alexander Povetkin. But it is what it is. But the fact of the matter is he tested positive for this same performance-enhancing drug. And now we got Janibek popping for meldonium, fight fans. And according to the latest reports, the Janibek and Erislandy Lara fight that was going to happen on the undercard of Lamont Roach and Isaac Pitbull Cruz is now off. I repeat, off, fight fans. It is not happening. You know what I mean? According to the reports, Erislandy Lara is going to still fight. He's going to be fighting a man by the name of Johan Gonzalez. Never heard of him, man. Never heard of him. But, yo, at least Erislandy Lara gets a chance to continue to fight, you know, earn that payday. You know, he's an older fighter. He wants to stay active. Sitting around for Erislandy Lara is just not a good thing. You know what I mean? So it's good that Lara will go on to have his date. Now, as for Janibek, man, so we're gonna wait and see how this is all going to kind of play out. Janibek has now taken to his social media, fight fans, and I'll put it for you right here. According to Janibek, I have always supported clean sport, and you know this well. I was surprised when I read the news. VADA took the first test and said everything was clean. I have not made any changes to my vitamins. I don't know what happened with the second test, so I requested a retest. Hey, listen, that's cool that you requested a retest there, Janibek. You know what I mean? But we can't unsee what we saw. You know what I'm saying? Y'all know how that all go, fight fans. And listen, from this point, even if Janibek took 100 tests from this point on down and they all came back clean, that's still going to have people go, well, what about that one though? You know what I mean? We've already went down this road with Ryan Garcia. Remember how Ryan Garcia was saying, oh, I passed one test and I even passed another ones after it. But, you know, yeah, but Ryan, what about that one, though? What about that one? We can't unsee what we saw. So, I mean, Janibek, even if you pop clean on other tests, bruh, we still going to be like, yo, yeah, that's all good. I'm glad you popped clean, but, you know, you still pop dirty on that one, bruh. You still pop dirty on that one. And this is very, very unfortunate because this weekend was going to be a learning experience for all of us fight fans. Call it for what it is. Janibek walks around boxing with this boogeyman tag. He's the boogeyman. No one wants to fight him. No one wants to get into the ring with him. And now we finally got someone that we deemed as a top-rated fighter in Erislandy Lara. And he was going to get in there with Janibek, even despite his age. He's still a champion. And he was going to get in there with Janibek, and we were going to learn how good is Janibek for real. Because up until this point, he's fought nobody. You know what I mean? So we won't even get no answers on that this weekend. This card was going to be fire. I repeat, fire. And one of the main reasons why this card was going to be fire was this fight. So it's like, as a boxing fan, you know what I mean? I ain't happy to report this because I was really, really looking forward to that fight, man, and seeing how good that Janibek is or isn't. But now we ain't going to get nothing. You know what I mean? We ain't going to get nothing. You dig? So this is tough, man. I mean, we're going to see how this all works out. Now, I know a lot of fans of Janibek is going to probably come out and say, well, man, does this not look suspicious for reason A, B, or C? It's so close to the fight. I mean, don't you think that this is a little funny how he pops dirty so close to the fight? Hey, look, you can't convince a lot of us boxing fans from that argument, mainly because we understand now about cycling on and cycling off. So listen, whenever I see fighters clean, 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 dirty, then clean, clean, clean again, the first thing that's going to hit my mind is, well, maybe he didn't cycle properly. We cannot unsee what we saw, fight fans. And so this is what I'm saying. So it's like a hard argument and an extremely hard sell to boxing fans to say, well, you don't think this is suspicious? No, I don't think this is suspicious. Mainman is so close to the fight. You don't think this is suspect? No. I'm glad that it came out before the fight. I have been preaching and banging on tables, fight fans, that I want these drug test results to come out before the fight. That way, nobody gets hurt. Because one of these days, they're going to miss it, and maybe someone pops dirty after the fight. But, the fight is already happening, and now someone got hurt. We don't want to see that day. So I'm glad that the test results come out before the fight. You know what I'm saying? So whatever punishment that needs to happen happens before the fight. I don't want to see a drugged up fighter, doped up fighter going into that ring, man. You know what I mean? I don't care how much I want to see the fight. It don't work like that, my fight fans. It don't work like that. This is the hurt business. You know what I'm saying? You can turn a man into a vegetable in that ring, all because you got some radioactive ooze going through your veins. Nah, homie, we ain't buying it. You know what I'm saying? So that's just my position on a lot of the drug testing. And can mistakes happen? Sure, mistakes can happen. Sure, they can sometimes, but it's gonna have to be proven. I mean, thoroughly proven. But as for right now, we're not there yet. And as of right now, in my book, the man from Kazakhstan is filthy, fight fans. Dirty. Pack his ass up and get his ass up out of my sport. Don't want to hear it. I was just here a couple weeks ago asking the question about how good is Janibek? How good is Janibek? And I had everybody, all of the Janibek fans coming up in here, all from Kazakhstan, telling me, yo, main man, Janibek is the goods. Janibek has this amateur pedigree. Janibek is an Olympian. Janibek is this. Janibek is that. And I'm like, all right, cool. I just don't know that. You got to show me, man. I got to see that. Y'all was so very, very convinced. And I said, well, I don't know, man. He's been in there with a lot of nobodies, you know what I mean? And I get it, the whole Andre situation and how that went. But I still need to see it. I got to be proven. You know what I mean? But now that this test has come out, I'm starting to say, yo, I don't know if he's as good as if y'all making him to be. I don't even know if he's as strong as y'all making him to be, because Janibek is walking around with this destroyer tag as well. I don't know. I mean, was it the meldonium? What the hell is going on out there in Kazakhstan? You know what I mean? I don't understand it, dog. So I don't know how good this dude is. And I guess we ain't gonna find out. And now also, a lot of his wins in the past are now gonna have a dark cloud over them. We don't know if he was juiced up in any of those fights. You know what I'm saying? We don't know if he, was dirty or not. This is what happens when you pop. And so I'm just looking at Janibek now like, yo, get his ass up out of here, bro. Another one bites the dust. I don't know how good he is. You know what I mean? I'm not going to sit here and speculate. You got to show me in the ring. But in order to show me in the damn ring, you got to be clean. So it is what it is. You know what I'm saying? I'm sure they're going to test the B sample. Y'all know how this always goes. They're going to test the B sample. More than likely, the B sample probably ends up dirty. If the B sample ever comes back clean, it's going to be like, wow, never seen that before. But, who knows? There's always a 0.1% that the B sample can come back clean, right? We're just going to wait and see. According to Janibek, he's saying he's going to request to be retested. But the fight is already gone. So at this point, it doesn't even matter. My guess is that the main reason that Janibek wants to be retested, other than the fact of clearing his name, is to make sure that he holds on to his belts. That's the big probably concern from Janibek currently right now. Because from what I understand, I think that this was the WBO test. I'm not sure who was testing him here, but he has two belts basically in a nutshell. He has two belts. And if I look over here at the boxing rankings, and I'm seeing who may be next in line for either one of Janibek's belts, oh, Lord. And it is bad, 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 fight fans. And in the IBF, he has some guy named Etanoza Olialia. I never heard of him, never seen him. And over in the WBO, we got Denzel Bentley out of the UK. He's the #1 guy. So if Janibek loses his WBO belt, it's more than likely going to be going towards Denzel Bentley, either in a fight for a vacant belt, or maybe they just give it to him. We'll wait and see. And as far as the IBF, more than likely the same thing. We just going to have to wait and see. You know what I'm saying? But whether or not we're going to see if Janibek gets stripped of both titles or one title. You know what I'm saying? But it's going to be hard for the sanctioning bodies that want to keep a belt around his waist if he's dirty. You know what I mean? So especially if he ends up suspended and more than likely banned for a few months, 6 months to a year. If that ends up happening, then those sanctioning bodies are for sure going to strip him. You know what I mean? And it's very unfortunate because 160 is so weak. It's so damn weak. You know what I mean? So having Janibek there made the division a bit more exciting. And now this part, fight fans. The fans of Terrence Bud Crawford was hoping that this whole situation worked out. Why? Because the things were lining up for Bud Crawford to make a move for his what? I lost count. 4th undisputed. You know what I'm saying? 4th undisputed at this point. And this is something that the fan base of Terrence Crawford was really, really looking forward to. So once Janibek and Lara was done, we were going to see if Bud was going to get involved, whether it would have been with Carlos Adames or Carlos Adames would have got the winner of that fight. And then whoever would have emerged, guess what? All 4 titles. And Bud could have just walked on in and said, I'm challenging the undisputed guy. Now, 160 may not look nearly as, satisfying for Bud Crawford. He has no really reason to go to 160 if undisputed is not at play no more. Going there just for a Lara fight, going there for a Janibek fight, going there to beat up on Carlos Adames when we seen him beat up on Carlos Adames in sparring, it's just not going to do it. You know what I'm saying? It's just not going to be the thing that do it. And more than likely, Bud Crawford is going to have to probably start really considering that Canelo rematch now, because this situation looked like it's falling apart. So it's very, 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 very unfortunate. And I do wonder, if Janibek would have beat Lara, what are you going to you going to test dirty against Bud Crawford? You was going to juice against Bud? Is that what you was going to do, Janibek from Kazakhstan? You know what I'm saying? Is that what you were going to do? You were going to get dirty for Bud Crawford? Yeah, all right. If that would have happened, brother, your days in boxing would have been, you would have been getting terrorized from Crawford Nation if you would have attempted something like that. To be honest with you, bro, I don't want Bud to even look your way no more. You dirty. You tainted. You dirty. You going back to scratch. You would have had your biggest, highest profile fight with the Lara fight, and that would have set the Bud Crawford fans on fire with Mainman leading the charge. It would have set them on fire. But you dropped the ball. And now you're going your ass back to obscurity, back to scratch, suspend his ass, ban his ass. Meldonium ain't nothing to play with. I repeat, nothing to play with. And you juicing up against 42-year-old Lara. What the hell, bro? How good is this dude, Kazakhstan? How good is this dude if he juicing up against a 42-year-old? Riddle me that. I'm just not convinced. No, I'm just nowhere near convinced. He can get in there and beat up on all of them lower tier dudes all day and all night. But if you got a juice against 42-year-old Lara, man, get this dude up out of here, dog. What boogeyman? Boogeyman what? Shit. Ain't nothing scary about this dude other than the meldonium that's going through his dirty ass veins. You know what I'm saying? And it is what it is what it is, fight fans. Pack his ass up and get his ass out of my sport. Thumbs up on the way out if you didn't hit it on the way in. Share. Rock those bells. Dirty ass Janibek, and y'all coming through here. Oh, man, he's so good. You don't know what you're looking at, man. He's an Olympian. He's all of this up, man. He's a juice head. He's a juice head is what he is. Fake power. That's what that was. Fake power. And all y'all that got fooled out there by the damn meldonium. Don't put this dude in the ring with no Bud Crawford. You know what I'm saying? Bud is clean. Bud does things the right way. And he ain't got time to be messing around with dirty ass Janibek. To the next video, fam bam. Much love to y'all. Peace. Peace out.